Hello, and welcome back to Piano Spun Fiber Arts for day 13 of the World of Wool Advent Calendar Spin Along. Today is December 13th, and since we're smack dab in the middle of Advent, I figured I would take a second to show you in order all of the squares that we have done so far. I've started to place just one square every day here so that there's room. I had to move the bags around too because I was running out of space. So the rest of them are in safekeeping. I'm just gonna make a little stack here and show you all of the fabulous colors we have so far and what they're gonna look like all together. I think this is gonna be these colors just work so well together. They're gonna be so festive and fun, and there's plenty of difference between neutrals and bright colors. Tons of stuff that's gonna work really well with each other. So I am excited about that. I also have clearly not been taking my own advice about weaving in the tails early. Haven't done it. That's okay. And let's jump in for day 13. Day 13 is called Gift of Gold. I think last year or maybe the year before, we actually learned a little bit about the king who brought gold, but this doesn't seem to be about that. I see oranges, cinnamon, that's star anise? So maybe this is some kind of cider? Let us find out. I like all the drinks. The drinks are easy. I could throw myself a little party flight of all the drinks. Gift of Gold is 37.5% bamboo, 25% tussa silk, 25% tweed blend. I've been loving those tweed blends, and 12.5% merino wool. Gift of Gold celebrates the citrus jewel of the Christmas season, the humble orange. Once a rare winter luxury, oranges were cherished as gifts, tucked into stockings as symbols of generosity. Their bright scent and color cut through the cold, bringing a little warmth and light to the darkest days of the year. From the clove-studded pomanders that perfume the home to spiced orange cakes, marmalades, and mulled wine infusions, oranges weave through festive tables and traditions around the world. In Italy, candied orange peels find its way into the panettone. In Germany, orange zest warms Winterstollen, and in many households, a single orange in a stocking is a small but sparkling tradition. I have definitely done the clove orange, where you stick cloves into an orange, and there's always an orange in my mulled wine. So I'm hoping we see those bright orange colors. I don't know that I've really seen orange before. We get yellow and we get that kind of pinky peach, but a really nice bright orange, maybe even with the softer tones of the rind or the cinnamon tones of the spices. Let's see. It's so rich. It's really decadent, coppery, golden. I guess it's mostly bamboo and silk. I wasn't even thinking about how much bamboo and silk this would be. It's like candied almost. A little tough to unravel. And I know that I'm definitely gonna have a time spinning it thick. I'm not gonna want to. Look at that. So we do have these really deep oranges. The base of our tweed is like that rind. It has that lighter white cream color. And then our tweed blend, we get reds, we get yellows, we get light oranges as well. So let's read a little bit about the blend before we get to spinning. This blend brings together the richness and brightness of those golden moments. Bamboo fiber dyed a juicy orange gives a smooth, glowing base. Tussa silk adds shimmer and light-catching syrupy peel, while orange neppy wool adds textured bursts. A dash of merino wool rounds it all out, lending softness and spinability to this zesty, cheerful blend. It definitely is. And it looks so good with the bag too. They complement each other really well. All right, let's grab 2/3 of it and then we'll see how much it doesn't want to be a bulky weight yarn. I'm gonna try to strip it pretty fine, but I don't want it to be too short because I think it'll bunch up on itself. So let's try about that. Let's get the wheel ready to go. Oh, it spins so beautifully. It is not the thickness I want, but golly, it spins beautifully. It looks somehow both edible and like jewelry. It just seems impossible for fiber to look like this. I'm keeping the wheel very slow. I actually feel like I might be spinning too thick at the moment. And every once in a while I do get a pretty thick spot. So I'm gonna have to take my time to get this even. Like here I'm coming through a bit of that wool and that tweed, and it just creates this like thick spot that I have to just take more time and tease apart. It can be tricky spinning fibers in a blend that have very different staple lengths. So bamboo and silk have this sort of long staple length, but when I get to a spot with that tweed, you really need to shorten up so that you can spin it with some control. Now I feel like I'm spinning too thick in general. Once I feel like I've gotten it just about right for a little bit, that's when I'll take some off and do my little ply back sample. This is starting to feel just about right. So, as I said that, I got like a huge thick nip, but that's okay. That is gonna happen in this yarn. It's just gonna be textured. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a bigger section just so I can see a little bit more of what that variation looks like. I wish I could show you just how shiny, almost metallic it is in real life. And I think it is gonna be just about Aran. It's a little underspun right now, so I'll add a little more twist to that single. It isn't an even yarn, but it is certainly Aran weight. So I'm gonna continue on like this, maybe with a little more ply twist, really taking my time, and I will be back when this yarn is finished. I would expect lots of texture. Here I have the finished yarn for day 13, the Gift of Gold. This one was honestly a really challenging spin just due to how many textures are in this yarn. It was very tricky to make sure that it stayed as even as possible, but I just think it came out so beautiful. The color is so vibrant, and we have tons of little spots in this yarn where we get texture and color, and that just makes it so much more fun. If I look at a spot that's kind of in the middle of our thickness, you can see it's Aran weight, but you can see how one of the 3 plies here ended up way thinner than the other 2. So it's Aran weight, but it does have this very interesting texture throughout. But as I've learned throughout this year, I think the crochet is kind of gonna even anything out that we need it to. So there is day 13. The granny squares for Gift of Gold came out so yummy. Look at these. They're just gorgeous. They're so bright and vibrant, and they have all the like bits and speckles that you could hope for. The only thing I can say about these is they were such a difficult spin with all those neps and different fibers, especially the silk and the spots of merino, that tweedy stuff. There were a lot of textures in here, and it made it a really tricky spin, but I think it was worth it with how beautiful these came out. I love the variety this year. There's so much variety in our calendar, and I think it's gonna make such an interesting final coat. So tune back in tomorrow. Oh, and this is how much was left, like nothing. So tune back in tomorrow for day 14 to see what we get. Bye, see you then.